Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. It has seen a little bit of a rally today. It's too early to see if this will be sustained, but in this video, we're at least going to look at some key areas to watch in the event of a sustained rally. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember to check out the sale on the premium list, which is ending at the end of the week. So go check it out in the description below, locked on the lower right. Let's go ahead and jump in. So Bitcoin today is up about 8.77% or so. Over the last 24 hours, it's up about 15% because you're comparing it to some of these to the bottom of the wick or so. On the weekly chart, third green weekly candle in a row if it holds. Obviously, there's no guarantee that it holds, but if it does hold, this will be the third green weekly candle in a row. But let's go back to the daily chart because there are some key milestones we need to get past. Now, whether this price is rallying because of the El Salvador news with them declaring Bitcoin as legal tender or something else is somewhat irrelevant. At this point, we need to keep an eye on some prior levels that we would not mind getting past. So the first one obviously would be the 20-day SMA. The only reason we look at this one is because we know that when we're below it, it can act as some level of resistance. Getting above it is at least confirmation that we're not going to immediately get rejected back down. And when we're moving up, a lot of times it can act as some area of support. However, at the end of the day, the 20-day SMA is not that consequential. So if you want to know where that price currently is, you can see that in fact Bitcoin had a wick exactly up to the 20-day SMA, approximately anyways, and it's currently at 36,641. Okay, so 36,641 is at least the short-term line in the sand that we would want to see Bitcoin get past. Otherwise, we may assume if it's unable to get past that level, then the downtrend in the short term could quickly continue. The other targets I would say to get above if we do continue to move up would be the 200-day SMA. We tried to get above it just a week or two ago. We were unable to. It's only gotten higher. Now the 200-day SMA is actually at $42,000. Okay, $42,000. Which also corresponds to the prior local top we had back in early January of 2021. So if the price of Bitcoin is able to move past this mark, then that could be the next major area to look out for. Now, of course, some people are going to say, and I can't necessarily blame them, that you need to look at the downtrend as well, and we'll at least pull it up. So let's switch this over to the 1 hour. I will be the first to say I don't think these things for me are tradable in any way. But if you want to look at this downtrend, you might say, well, 38K could be the line in the sand that we want to move past in order to break at least out of this downtrend. That's on the 1 hour. If you look at it on the 4 hour and just look at it from the candles, not the wicks, okay, you can see it looks something like that. Okay, so around 38K would be the line in the sand if you're just generally looking at the downtrend. Okay, if you're just more or less looking at the downtrend. Now we're still a long ways off, and this is why I say don't schedule your Forbes interview just yet. We're still a long ways off from resuming any type of major bullishness. Okay, a long ways off. We need to get back above our 20-week SMA or our bull market support band, and then I would say we need to come back down and hold it as support. Right now, the 21-week EMA is at $43,000, and the 20-week SMA is at $48,695. So from the current prices, despite the rally we've had today, the 20-week SMA for Bitcoin is still about 34% away from the current prices. So it's still a long ways off. I don't imagine we'll be able to get there extremely quickly. But we also know, too, that if the price of Bitcoin continues to close around these levels, we're essentially replacing it with the levels we had 20 weeks ago. And they're basically the same, more or less the same prices. And therefore, I would expect the 20-week SMA to probably not turn over quite yet. Obviously, the 21-week EMA is turning over relatively quickly, but I would not expect the 20-week SMA to turn over just yet because of the fact that we still had a few weeks where we were closing the price of Bitcoin at these levels about 20 weeks ago. So until we start, negating some of these candles up here and replacing them with some of these candles over here, or if this goes down, then the 20-week SMA will roll over. Until that time, the 20-week SMA has still not rolled over, and so we'll have to see how this plays out. I think we've covered more or less. I mean, obviously, we could look at the potential downside. The 50-week SMA would probably be the next major support if our trend continues down, and currently that's at $29,361. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember to check out the sale on the premium list. You can lock in the lower rate. You can find a link to that in the description below as well if you want to know how I am navigating these markets. Definitely subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon to turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye.